if you work outside at night and you come in at night, you want to actually, you want to be warm, and it's just been hard with the fuel prices being so hard, because you can't use the electrics because it's so expensive. You can't use the oil because it's, you try not to use the oil. My immersion heaters had it, and the tank's not brilliant. I'm Corinne. I am 55 years of age. Probably look it now, to be fair, because I'm a bit weathered with all this cattle breeding and stuff. However, my dream from the age of 7 years old, and I've still got the drawing, was to have a farm with horses and cattle. And I have achieved that dream. The one thing I didn't realise, that nature isn't natural, so there's been a lot of things happen on a farm that you just don't see in fairy tales, But I love it, and I absolutely love the countryside, and it might have made me very poor, but I'm very happy. I've had to nurse it along for about 20 odd years, but it goes on to lockout and you have to give it a quick spray with some WD-40, and it fires up again. It's not very efficient at all. I think we've just used 250 litres in 16 days, so that's a lot of oil. So yeah, it's kind of like past its sell-by date. It's falling to pieces, and I'm really thrilled that I'm going to be having a new central heating system. Right, so, what do you mean you haven't seen one of these before? How old are you? This is 1982 at 3095. So it means its output is either 30 kilowatt hours or 95. But when it's at 95, it's burning 9.5 litres of diesel an hour.
Do you know what the efficiency of this boiler is?
I'd say probably 20%, 30%. It's horrendous. So, I mean, my brother and my son, we were all up here chatting last night, and we agreed it was so much warmer and quieter, even now. So, that's... In fact, I'm really quite hot as I'm talking.
What was it like before?
Well, it's always been quite drafty. It's hard to... Because you've lived with it for so long, it's just part of your life, you're used to drafts. I mean, you open the door downstairs, it's like a polar vortex going along the hallway. So you tend not to use all of the house in the winter because it's just not worth it, because it's cold, and I'd rather just sit and hog the log burner, really, just hug that with a nice glass of whiskey or something. But now there's a stillness. So everybody's noticed there's a stillness in the house where you haven't got the wind whizzing through it. It's a family home, and I love it, but it needed a lot of work doing to it, and needed updating, and obviously in farming you don't have a huge amount of money for a contingency plan when things go wrong, because you tend to pay for things like fences and gates and troughs and water leaks, and if cattle go down with TB, you're obviously losing stock. So it is lovely to have a nice warm house to come into, but it's not always possible, because if you haven't had time to chop the wood and you haven't ordered your diesel, you're stuffed, basically. So to have it actually, a warm and insulated house is going to make my life so much better, because I'm going to be warm for a start, and I'm not going to be fretting constantly about whether I've got enough oil, whether I can afford enough oil, or how much wood I'm going to have to chop. And and coal's really expensive as well now, because we don't just use white wood and wood round the farm. We use coal as well to try and keep the log burners in overnight. So well, half the radiators don't work, and all the thermostats fell off them. And like I said, the boiler is intermittent, so that could play up. I've had people come out to it, and obviously there's a lot of plumbers that love the old Worcester boiler because it makes them lots of money, doesn't it? And yeah, you just feel fed up of paying for stuff that isn't. It's just costing you a fortune to run. You know, you know, and you go around to other people's houses and they're always warm. I mean, even some of my friends are going, "Oh, it's going to be nice staying at your place now, isn't it?" I went, "Well, you never told me it was cold." I was like, I can't believe they never said. You know, it was actually on Facebook because I think after years and years of lambing at this time of year and sort of winter time, I don't sleep all night, so I tend to get on Facebook and start cruising and surfing it, as they say. So I literally was going through it and I just saw this rural energy saving grant. When I spoke to Chris, he actually understood and he actually had the sort of level of intelligence that I need to be able to communicate with somebody about these sort of issues. So
Yeah,
I just found him very articulate and very easy to deal with, and you know, just nice to have someone with some knowledge. I like him, yeah. I haven't met him, I don't know what he looks like, no idea what he is.
Yeah.
But he is very good at his job, that's what I'd say. Well, I'd like to be able to entertain my friends, have sleepovers, and have a bit more money in my pocket, and not have to worry constantly that I'm going to have to replace hugely expensive items in the house. I also like decorating, so I'm going to have a whale of a time redesigning the whole of my house. Because I finished carving near enough, so I'm going to have some time in the spring to get a move on and, you know, put it all back together again. So I'm eternally grateful for anything that gets done in this place, because it's beyond me now. You know, I worked really, really hard for a very long time, and I married the wrong man, and I lost every single investment I ever had. So then I was left with this place with a bloody mortgage, cattle with TB, and 2 young children, you know, and I've managed to hang in there. So for me, this is just amazing. I'm almost going, do you know what? Thank you for me over, because now I'm getting my house done. Like it doesn't happen to me. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't happen to me. It doesn't happen to normal people, these sort of things that happen. I don't know, I just, well, it's too good to be true, isn't it? That's what you think. And like Martin Lewis tells us, if it looks too good to be true, it is. You know, so I'm waiting for the catch. Well, I think it's brilliant, and I think it's brilliant that the energy companies are having to shell out for it as well. They've made lots of money, haven't they? I was speaking to Chris because he explained that it was going to be a lot of disruption. It wasn't for the faint-hearted. You can't do one without the other, because if you do, then it's not worth it. You can't have an air source heat pump and not have solar panels, because it's pointless. It's going to cost you a fortune to run without photovoltaic panels. Is that correct? And you need to have the house insulated, so then the air source heat pump isn't going to have to work so hard, so you won't be using as much energy, and the whole you have to have it as a whole. I said to Chris, I'm going to get my dad and my brother to have a look at this before I sign anything, and then I had a load of questions which I sent, and they all got answered. I'll just go for it. You've got nothing to lose apart from, you know, buying a few pots of paint, and you've got everything to gain, haven't you? You know, aesthetically, it's not going to wreck the look of your house. Anything's got to be better than what I've got right now, to be fair. So I'm happy. It's all been easy. And look how many people I put in touch.
Yeah.
You know.
How many people now?
1, 2, 3 farmers. Oh God, there's many. Anyway, I can look in my WhatsApp because they all ask me to. I send Chris's details over as a little contact, so you know they can get in touch with him. I don't know what to say about this room. It's warm, it's cosy, it's nice, it's light. Maybe I'll move back into it.
Has it made a big difference in this room then, do you feel?
Yeah, oh god, yeah. All the rooms.
Yeah.
I mean, I can feel there's a bit of a chill coming from here. Oh, it's because the draft things are open. I mean, Tony has even tidied this up because when Bob the Builder put these windows in, it was always an annoying bit that wasn't quite straight. And if you're fussy, that would drive you mad. But now it's all been straightened up. So I'm pleased about that. And I'm pleased I've got some double sockets as opposed to single, which might seem small, but it's, you know, it's much nicer if you don't have the daisy chain stuff, isn't it? My brother was very impressed that they filled all the joints for this pink stuff, which is, I don't know what it is actually. You'd have to look that up, but apparently it's good, so that's good.